Pre-release flood of merchandising in connection with the new movie Batman is setting an unofficial record for a single movie. 135 different licenses so far, a small percentage of which, as you can see, is represented here. We're going to spend some time the rest of this week finding out what all the fuss is about, starting this morning with this Batman report from our man in Hollywood, Jim Brown.
It's hard not to be aware that a new movie treatment of Batman is about to open nationwide. After all, hustling of Batman merchandising has been warming up all the honorary citizens of Gotham City for months now. Michael Keaton is the Cape Crusader in this $40 million adventure.
I'm Batman.
With Jack Nicholson, his main nemesis, as the Joker.
Wait till they get a load of me.
And Kim Basinger is along as Batman, or Bruce Wayne's, romantic interest, Vicky Vale. The responsibility for making all of the elements come together in a cohesive and commercial property fell on 30-year-old director Tim Burton. Batman is only his third feature film.
Look out, Mr. Potato Head! Ah!
The first was Pee-wee's Big Adventure, followed by Beetlejuice, in which Burton worked with his future Batman star, Michael Keaton. But as the Cape Crusader, Keaton, with his comedy background, was not a popular choice among Batman fans.
Nice outfit.
We just felt that it was much more an interesting way to go. People don't realize that comedy, and people come from comedy, the comedy a lot of times comes from anger, and Michael's got quite an explosive side to him, and I just felt it was much more interesting to go this way than, you know, a much more traditional, you know, square-jawed actor.
Well, now, if Michael Keaton was not an obvious choice, Jack Nicholson certainly was to play the Joker.
You know, your fear on that is that, well, it's almost too perfect in a sense, but he's so good, you know, he can transcend even that, in my opinion. He's just so good that he can meet everybody's expectations and also go further with them.
To film Batman, the company took over Pinewood Studios near London and built Gotham City on the 95-acre back lot. Its concept came from the mind of production designer Anton Furst, who also built Vietnam in an East London slum for Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. Furst and Tim Burton talked about what they call the art of ugliness.
There's nothing really specific to draw from. I mean, the things that you can say is it takes place at night for the most part, which we've kept, and showing Gotham as a fairly brutal, you know, crime-ridden city is from, you know, the spirit is from the comic, but nothing really more specific than that.
And that was another aspect, wasn't it, then, to the design, was that instead of going to colour and texture and that sort of thing, bearing in mind that so much of the film was going to be shot at night time, we just went for massive shapes, just huge, what you used to describe as broad stroke shapes. I mean, so that when it was lit at night time, what you saw was the big shapes, strength, and therefore giving us a strong graphic image in the frame, as opposed to just some sort of textural thing which is just going to disappear into the background. So that's where we invested our money. We also sort of went back 100 years and then tried in New York and tried to imagine what New York might have become in the future had there been no planning permission. So you
or having the planning commission that they have in Los Angeles, which I think is pretty non-existent.
Where did you get those wonderful toys?
Tomorrow, when we continue this series on the movie Batman, you'll meet the film's leading lady, Kim Basinger. For today, Jim Brown, NBC News, Hollywood.
135 unofficial licenses so far. I don't know if anybody keeps records of this, and if you're saying the Star Wars trilogy had more, yes, Star Wars trilogy does, but that's not a single movie. Look at this stuff.
I kind of got a problem. Could I get it?
Sure.
Well, you know, it's a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
It's real grown-up. It's a grown-up movie. It's very dark, psychological. It can be pretty rough. Entertaining, I'll grant. I liked it. So what's this Batmobile in this little tiny
Well, that's for adults.
8-inch
That's for adults who are taken with the movie
bicycle. Those
and
are
want to
toys.
I know, but they want to share their love of the movie with their children.
with children who oughtn't see it. I don't get that.
Well, I don't know. It's up to the adults. You don't want to share any bat candy or any bat coffee? You don't want a bat whistle? And look at this.
How about bat bubble gum? That's a real grown-up
Hang on
item.
one second. One second. What do you think? You think they'll let me on the airplane with this? Huh? Go down to American Airlines, tell them I'm flying out for a bat party?
Yeah.
Think they'll dig this stuff?
Michael Keaton is a friend of mine.
Yeah, he's not
You,
in any
sir,
danger.
are no Michael Keaton.
He's not in any danger right now. 42 past the hour. We're going to come back in just a moment. What would Admiral Crowell think now? We're going to come back in just a moment. 42 past the hour. Take a station break.
Plastics in general.